I thought it was a joke too, but the way she said it wasn't like jokey. She was like, oh, come on, everybody knows Michelle Obama's the man. Like, remember that?
Yeah, like, would Big Mike kill you for that?
Well, I think she died because she had 1,000 plastic surgeries. But
yeah, she was going under.
Michelle Obama, former First Lady of the United States, author, health advocate, fashion icon, and a role model, right? Well, not if you ask Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld. They ripped this image apart. Because once they got talking, everything changed. The polished speeches, torn apart. The inspiring Netflix specials, mocked. The clean, uplifting brand, exposed, bit by bit. Some dark secrets? They're out now. Let's start with the hypocrisy. Joe didn't mince words. Remember, when Michelle gave a speech in the Democratic National Convention about unity, fairness, and economic justice, Rogan tore into it.
And she's up there talking about income inequality. Like, hey, lady.
Yeah, I know.
You're rich as fuck. Like, how is that equal? And also, when Michelle Obama was saying, you know, I think she was saying her mother or grandmother was always suspicious of people who took more than they needed.
Yes.
Like, you are worth so much money.
God, I'm kidding me.
That's so crazy. And you did it on a civil servant's salary, which is insane.
She talks about inequality, but owns 4 mansions, he said, eyebrows raised. How is that equal? Rogan found it ironic that Obama, whose net worth is estimated at $70 million, delivered such a message. It wasn't just criticism, it was demolition. Michelle's image was sold as strength, simplicity, and authenticity. But Rogan and Gutfeld didn't buy it. They pointed to her Netflix deals, her massive book sales, her global fashion icon status. You're not the underdog when you sign multi-million-dollar streaming contracts, Greg joked. That's not struggle. That's branding. Her Netflix documentary?
I am from the south side of Chicago. That tells you as much about me as you need to know.
Rogan once called it a spiritual journey through her own ego. The slow motion shots, soft music, dramatic lighting, it was all there. Then came the personal life. Remember that bizarre absence of Michelle during major events? When President Bush died, Michelle didn't show up. She's got private jets. What's going on? There's something's fishy. Either it's surgery, trouble in paradise, or, well, you've heard the rumors.
President dies, everyone in the world shows up, and she doesn't break her vacation. It's not like she doesn't have access to a jet. Something is going on. Let's speculate.
Yes, please.
It's either surgery.
Oh.
That was my least controversial thing.
Depends what kind of surgery.
She will not sit close to the dictator. And by that, I don't mean Hillary, I mean Donald Trump. Or there's trouble in paradise between Barack and Michelle. I've heard things. I'm not going to substantiate that by repeating these rumors on national TV like I just did. But I'm just saying it's very odd that she's not there.
Michelle's separate bedrooms confession became another target. She sleeps downstairs. He likes men. There, I said it. Gutfeld burst out laughing. That's one way to keep the marriage alive. Separate floors. Rogan also brought up the big rumor. Joan Rivers famously joked that Michelle Obama is a man, and she seemed very clear about it.
You know Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
But is this a joke? Maybe. But Rogan isn't ready to let it slide. Joan didn't laugh when she said it, Rogan noted. She said it like it was a fact, walked away like it was common knowledge. Joe Rogan once joked about Michelle Obama having a third leg. The Obamas are obviously coming for him next.
You know, it's just good to see everybody having a good time. The country's almost back to normal before World War III. We lost a lot of people during COVID, and most of them are still alive. Before COVID, I would have told you that vaccines are the most important invention in human history. After COVID, I'm like, I don't think we went to the moon. I think Michelle Obama's got a dick.
Then came the speeches. Oh, the speeches. Michelle's TED Talk-style lectures were described as Pinterest slogans dipped in privilege. Rogan summed it up. She says so much, but says nothing. Every word is polished. Every smile is rehearsed. It's like watching an inspirational poster in real life.
Michelle thinks American men suck.
Let me warn you, Your rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage. To the women listening, we have every right to demand that the men in our lives do better by us. We have to use our voices to make these choices clear to the men that we love. Our lives are worth more than their anger and disappointment.
What's that pitter-patter sound I'm hearing in the background? It's the footsteps of Barack running to vote for Trump.
And then her podcast. Michelle's podcast is usually described as a warm bath of pseudo-wisdom. Each episode is just a gentle reminder that she's better than you. Listening to it is like aging in real time, isn't it? The audience couldn't help but laugh, but also wonder how much of this image is real. Let's be clear. This isn't just about Michelle Obama. This is about how modern politics has turned public figures into untouchable brands. Whether it's a first lady, a tech CEO, or a media darling, we're living in an era where image often trumps impact. The carefully crafted Instagram post gets more praise than a policy breakthrough. Similarly, a soft-spoken speech about hope gets more attention than legislative results. The media machine loves a hero, especially one who fits the narrative. Once someone is elevated to icon status, questioning them becomes taboo. Rogan and Gutfeld didn't just go after Michelle for fun. They went after a bigger trend. Because when accountability is silenced in favor of branding, we don't get transparency. We get theater, and it's time we stop clapping for the act. Does anyone actually remember her giving real advice? Rogan asked. Or just feel-good fluff wrapped in buzzwords? And then came the big one. Rumors of Michelle running for president.
That Tim Dillon's video where he was saying that Michelle Obama should run for president. If she won, she could pull her cock out and China would just give up. I was fucking wheezing. I couldn't breathe.
This, perhaps, is the clearest indicator of what Rogan and Gutfeld believe. Michelle Obama isn't a threat. She's a performance. A walking, talking, green juice drinking performance of empowerment, curated to perfection. But real people? They see through it. If you've made it this far, don't forget to subscribe and ask yourself, why don't we hear this stuff anywhere else? Why does every critique of Michelle Obama get swept under the rug, while her brand gets stronger by the minute? Is it because people are scared to speak up? Or because the truth is more uncomfortable than we'd like to admit? Let's talk about Michelle's memoir, Becoming. That became a cultural phenomenon. It's not a memoir. It's a lifestyle blog with a spine. It's 400 pages of vague trauma, yoga metaphors, and recipes for kale chips. The majority feels that the public image of Michelle has become more brand than person. Then there's the fashion. It made big news when Michelle once wore a cardigan to meet Queen Elizabeth and was called out for looking low-key.
As opposed to being an outfit fit for a meeting with a queen. In fairness, the queen hardly seemed to care. It's been said that the Obamas were among her favorite presidential couples. Looking back on the incident, Michelle joked that it was her Jimmy Choo shoes rather than her cardigan that ruined her outfit that day.
I look back over at her, and then we just had a moment of recognition, both of us realizing that our feet were hurting.
Here, what bothered Rogan and Gutfeld wasn't the style. It was the substance, or rather, the lack of it. And what's the point of admitting it now? Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld didn't cancel her. They questioned her. They challenged her. They reminded us that behind every polished brand is a real person, with flaws, contradictions, and maybe even secrets. Is Michelle Obama a role model? Maybe. But should she be above scrutiny? Never. Comment below. We want to hear what you think.